Hello, my name is Jim DeMeo, and this is A Course in Miracles. Today's lesson is 187. I bless the world because I bless myself. No one can give unless he has. In fact, giving is proof of having. We've made this point before. What seems to make it hard to credit is not this. No one can doubt that you must first possess what you would give. Is the second phase in which the world and true perception differ. Having had and given, then the world asserts that you have lost what you possessed. The truth maintains that giving will increase what you possess. If you're wondering how that's so, think of the unity of creation. Think of expansion instead of loss. How is this possible? For it is sure that you give a finite thing away, your body's eye will not perceive it yours. Yet we've learned that things but represent the thoughts that make them. Things aren't things in themselves. Things are all about what the thought is behind them, isn't it? It's the thought behind the gift that we appreciate, isn't it? Far more than what the gift is. And you do not lack for proof that when you give ideas away, you strengthen them in your own mind. Perhaps the form in which the thought seems to appear is changed in giving. Yet it must return to him who gives. Nor can the form it takes be less acceptable. It must be more. The return is simply the nature of thought. It's connected. Ideas must first belong to you before you can give them. If you're to save the world, you first accept salvation for yourself. But you will not believe that this is done until you see the miracles it brings to everyone you look upon. Herein is the idea of giving clarified and giving leaving meaning. Now you can perceive that by your giving is your store increased. To understand the Son of God, see the other as the Son of God. Jesus, Buddha, others taught this. Protect all things you value by the act of giving them away, and you are sure that you will never lose them. What you thought you did not have is thereby proven yours. Yet value not its form, where the item is. For this will change and grow, unrecognizable in time, however much you try to keep it safe. No form endures. It is the thought behind the form of things that lies, that lives, unchangeable. Give gladly, you can only gain thereby. The thought remains and grows in strength as it's reinforced by giving. Thoughts extend as they are shared, for they cannot be lost. There is no giver and receiver in the sense the world conceives of them. There is a giver who retains, another who will give as well, and both must gain in this exchange. We don't lose what we give. For each have the thought in form most helpful to him, the Christ, the One. What he seems to lose is always something he will value less than what will surely be returned to him. The illusion has no value. The form of where the item is seems to fade away as the idea of giving and receiving become clearer. Give the item away and you'll learn this. Never forget, you give but to yourself. Who understands what giving means must laugh at the idea of sacrifice. sacrifice is the enemy of relationships. Nor can he fail to recognize the many forms which sacrifice may take. He laughs as well at pain and loss, at sickness and at grief, at poverty, starvation, and at death. He recognizes sacrifice remains the one idea that stands behind them all. And in his gentle laughter are they healed. Illusion recognized must disappear. Accept not suffering, and you remove the thought of suffering. Your blessing lies on everyone who suffers when you choose to see all suffering as what it is. The thought of sacrifice gives rise to all the forms that suffering appears to take. And sacrifice is an idea so mad that sanity dismisses it at once. Never believe that you can sacrifice. There's no place for sacrifice in what has any value. If the thought occurs, its very presence proves that error, separation, has arisen, and correction, unity, must be made. Your blessing will correct it. Give first to you. It now is yours to give as well. No form of sacrifice and suffering can long endure before the face of one who has forgiven, seen the unity of creation, and has blessed himself. We are the Christ. The lilies that your brother offers you are laid upon your altar, with the ones you offer him beside them. Who could fear to look upon such lovely holiness? The great illusion of the fear of God diminishes to nothingness before the purity that you will look upon here. Be not afraid to look. The blessedness you will behold will take away all thought of form and leave instead the perfect gift forever there, forever to increase, forever yours, forever given away. Now are we one in thought, for fear is gone, and here before the altar to one God, one Father, one Creator, and one thought. We stand together as one Son of God, not separate from him, who is our source, not distant from our brother, who's part of our one self, whose innocence has joined us all as one. We stand in blessedness and give as we receive. The name of God is on our lips, and as we look within, we see the purity of heaven shine in our reflection of our Father's love. Now are we blessed. Now we bless the world. What we've looked upon, we would extend, for we would see it everywhere. We would behold it shining with the grace of God in everyone. We would not have it be withheld from anything we look upon. And to ensure this holy sight is ours, we offer it to everything we see. For where we see it, it will be returned to us in the form of lilies we lay upon our altar, making it a home for innocence itself, who dwells in us, offers us his holiness as ours.